he is in no way qualified to speak about that which he will speak, and his thoughts, opinions, and statements have nothing to do with us. I cannot emphasise enough how much I disassociate myself from Barret.
I do need the microphone. So to start, I've talked to the great legal minds over here, and both Altspace and the Avalon fully endorse me and say that I am legal of everything I'm going to say in every country on the planet, especially Bulgaria. This is according to the Avalon and to Altspace. So to start, let's all take a deep breath. This is about feng shui, healing, feeling. Let's take a deep breath. Let's all have a drink. Cheers. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Decorating with Barret, or as I like to call it, the fun things to do with a corpse. So, Granny has died. What do we do with her? Sure, yes, we could absolutely put her in a coffin in the ground, but that's really boring. So fuck that. Instead, what we're going to do is we are going to turn the modern day coffee table for your breakfast nook. It's the most perfect thing in the world. Now with this, the biggest thing you need to be aware of is how it settles inside the resin. So you have three main problems as you put your grandmother into your coffee table. You have bacteria, you have water, and you have oxygen. With these three things, your resin is going to break, Granny's going to explode. You don't want that. So instead, what you want to do, you first want to flash freeze her, and then as you put her into the resin appropriately, you need to make sure all the air bubbles are out. And what this will do, it'll actually put the bacteria that is going to make Granny swell and explode into a stasis where it's not actually going to be effective because there's no oxygen and there's no water inside of the body. And thus, Granny, you can have her for the rest of your life as you have your morning coffee. Now, I do understand that this is a massive project, and not everybody is going to be able to start off with a full human corpse. I understand that. So instead, I have a much better option for you to do. If it'll work. Maybe the computer doesn't even want me to give this speech. Oh, there we go. I heavily recommend you desecrate your corpse by chopping off the hands first. And if you look very, very closely at these hands, these are actually Becky's real hands. We have put them into resin, and they are now your book stands. So now you have a nice little coffee nook, and you have something for your book stand. It's beautiful. And this is a much better way to start off than with a full corpse. That's much harder. For more information on how to properly put things into resin, I heavily recommend you Google it's yearly Halloween jack-o'-lantern resin. There is a couple, and every year they make a Halloween pumpkin, and at the end of the year, they always put it into resin to see how long they can preserve it. And that is where we have really learned on how to keep things preserved in resin for an extremely long period of time, because they have failed many times, but in their failure, we have learned how to properly put hands in resin, or other corpses. Ooh, one too many. Oh, did not know. This is my absolute personal favorite. So there's two things you need. You need a corpse, and you need some carrion beetles. So you're gonna first decapitate your corpse, or for me, I think it should be your own personal body, because, I mean, it's much better that way. And you're gonna take the skull, and you're gonna put it in a box with a bunch of carrion beetles. This is how museums do it whenever they do get new artifacts from archaeological people. They put it in a box with carrion beetles, and the carrion beetles eat all the skin and the hair and every cell off of it and leave a pristine skull. It's absolutely amazing how they can do it. Now, what you're gonna do with the other half of your body is there are many companies in the US and in Europe that you send them a corpse, your corpse. I'm not telling you how to obtain corpses, but if you use your own, you first decapitate your person so that way you can get your skull. And then you send the body out to these companies, and they compress it. They they cremate you, and then they hard compress it, and they turn it into diamond. What I would do, I would then take that diamond, I would have it inserted into my eye socket. I would be put on the mantelpiece. That way you can stare at the younger generations as they come to pass throughout your entire family. And you can always be keeping an eye to make sure that they're actually living up to who you used to be. This is absolutely probably the best one you could take. Oh, thank you. Or you can be a fucking hippie and you can do a living urn. This is a real company in Europe and in the US where you send your ashes off to this company, and human ash has a very high pH and it's very salty. So it's incredibly bad for plants. But this company uses various chemicals and they neutralize the pH and the saltiness so that way they can actually grow a tree. And then they put a sapling inside of your urn, and then you bury it. The whole urn is biodegradable. So then you take that urn and the plant and you bury it in your backyard. So now we've gone over your coffee tables, your mantelpiece, your book shelf, and now we're in the garden. And so you can have your own grandma tree. Next, please. Something that is somewhat new, and it's actually very cool, is a mushroom bodysuit for burial. And again, you would use this in the backyard. There are companies here in Europe that do it, where they wrap you in a mycelium shell fabric, and you get buried in the backyard, and then you didn't work hard enough in life, now you have to work in death. And you have to feed the family with the mushrooms that you grow in the backyard. It takes approximately 2 to 3 years for a human corpse to degrade inside the ground. But the mushrooms should start going in 30 to 45 days. It's pretty amazing. There's another company just like this, where it's a mushroom coffin. It's all biodegradable and mycelium shells, the coffin itself. You get buried in the dirt, and they have mycelium on top of you. And then it takes about 30 to 45 days for the coffin and everything else to get buried into the ground and mushrooms start to sprout. But again, a human corpse always takes about 2 to 3 years to fully decompress once you're in the ground, unless you're in a bullshit wooden coffin. Next, please. And my favorite, Boom Baby. First off, you start off by getting yourself cremated. And then in America, because we love our explosions and our fireworks and beautiful, beautiful other things, you can get yourself mixed into various types of TNT, dynamite, explosives, and be fired off into the heavens from your backyard. And on the 4th of July, you watch a beautiful fireworks show of your loved one getting blown up in the air. It's absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely amazing. Next, please. Any questions? Yes.
So the mushrooms, are they, you said, are those the magic mushrooms? So can I trip on grandma?
I would say absolutely yes, but you probably got to bury them. Don't know the answer, to be honest, but my theory is that you absolutely could. I don't know why you couldn't. You just got to change out which mushroom spores are inside the suit itself, or you add your own mushroom spores to the body, and then they will eventually grow up. And then you just got to be careful of which ones you eat to make sure it's not, is it going to be your gourmet salad dressing mushroom, or are you going to start tripping balls in front of your parents? Yes.
I understand, James, and I'm just really curious what your process is to arrive at this topic.
Can I intervene on that one?
No?
Sorry, I'm going to step in on this one. It was the only topic he came up with that we were willing to actually let him present.
Next year's topic is entitled Ride the Lightning. It is about your taser and you and getting tased. Orion.
Thank you, James.
Target.
What?
Who is your next target?
I can neither confirm nor deny nor endorse on how you obtain your corpse. Yes.
When you were doing the research for the mushroom suits,
Mhm.
do you think it's a growing market?
Touche. It is about, I think if I remember correctly, it's about 1,500 euro to be wrapped in the suit. The coffin is approximately 4,500 euro. The firework production is about 1,000 euro. The living urn is around 1,200 if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's much cheaper than anything else. The skull, that's a little trickier because you got to first turn yourself into a diamond. You also have to be in a country where it's legal to decapitate a human being and then have carrion beetles eat the skull.
And who do you trust to put a diamond in your eye?
Hire an attorney? Yes.
Do you use any of those decorations from the first slides in your spaces?
I absolutely would. Without any question or hesitation, I 100% would. Yes.
There was a coffee table, Barret, when you die on some misadventure. I want you as a coffee table.
You are absolutely welcome to my corpse. The one slide I was going to add in here, but I could not get AI to create it because they said it was against all their policies and controls. I had this beautiful idea of you have a child and the parent dies and it's very sad, but then you turn daddy into a chair and the child can sit on the chair and cry into his arms until she doesn't need him anymore. AI refused to make the photo.
Barret, I stand by my offer to collaborate.
With some Kobo. Or are you going to provide me a corpse?
We'll talk details later.
Okay.
I need to run it by a few people.
We'll see what happens. I was going to leave names out of it. Thank you for arriving to my TED Talk.
Nobody will know this.